Alrighty, so we got a bunch of comments for today's WTF. We have little Jawa saying, I saw tamarind recently and was wondering how you could use them or eat them. We got a comment in from Pink Tiles. I'm a new subscriber, love the show. I love that you're watching. Could you cover tamarind? Absolutely. Stumbled across your podcast in iTunes. Love it, can't go a day without it. Could you cover tamarind or tamarindo in Spanish? So we got a bunch of people requesting tamarind, and that's what we're going to cover today. Today's sponsor is Emmy's Organics, and you can check them out online at emmysorganics.com. Emmy's Organics makes a bunch of different types of foods that are for you. They're all good in the fact that they are completely soy-free, corn-free, free of refined sugars, gluten-free, completely vegan-friendly. They have macaroons, granolas, chocolate sauces, and a bunch of other raw ingredients, all delicious and available on their website at emmysorganics.com. They're going to give a free pack of macaroons to anyone that places an order and enters the code WTF at the time of checkout, so get to their website now. Alrighty folks, so today we are talking about tamarind, and more specifically we're talking about the fruit that the tamarind tree produces. The fruit comes in the form of a little brown pod that when cracked open has this brown stuff inside this pulpy mixture, as well as some seeds. Most commonly in cuisine, you're using the pulpy bits, not the seeds or the shell. The flavor that that pulp produces is kind of sour, sweet, tangy. It's a rich flavor that's also very bright. It's a really unique flavor. I think it's so delicious. Now, tamarind is commonly used as a flavoring agent in both foods and drinks. You can find it in a number of different types of cuisine. Notably, it's found in Thai cuisine. It's also in Indian cuisine and Chinese cuisine. You can also find it in drinks. It's made into a soda in Mexico. And one of the most interesting things that I found out is that it is a key ingredient in Worcestershire sauce. When you go to the grocery store, you'll often find tamarind in a paste, a concentrate, as a sauce, or even the whole pods. However, the majority of cuisines use basically the flavor of the tamarind without the pulp. So it's common that you'll reconstitute the pulp, if you get it in whatever form, in water, really kind of rough it up so the water becomes tamarind flavored. Then you strain it out and discard all the pulp and use the flavored water in your cooking. One of the most classic dishes that uses tamarind is the Thai dish called pad Thai, which is a noodle dish that often has shrimp in it, sometimes tofu, and this tangy sauce made out of tamarind. You need a wok to cook pad Thai, and some people consider cooking pad Thai to be an art form in itself. It's all about cooking very rapidly. The whole thing is cooked in, 3-4 minutes, very, very quickly. And so it's best to prepare all of your ingredients ahead of time so you're ready to use them as soon as you get to cooking. First, you'll need to prepare some tamarind sauce. If you have a whole block of tamarind, you'll want to cut off a little bit, then add it to some hot water and let it soak for a little while. Wring it out, strain it around, and squeeze out the juices. Then pour through a strainer to discard the pulp. In a small pot over low heat, add a half a cup of your tamarind juice, half a cup of fish sauce, and a third of a cup of brown sugar. Let that melt together and combine. Now add a teaspoon of paprika, a teaspoon of chili powder, and adjust the seasonings until you're satisfied with the taste. Then turn off the heat. Meanwhile, you want to cook some rice noodles till they are al dente. I recommend getting some nice glassy rice noodles and following the instructions on the packet. They vary a little bit, but you want to have them cooked al dente. Finally, you want to prepare the following ingredients: some peeled, deveined shrimp, some tofu. You also want to have some ground up peanuts, some chopped up chives, some chopped up garlic, an egg or two, and bean sprouts. To cook this dish, put a wok over high heat. You need to have a gas burner or an electric wok. Get it ripping hot, put some oil in there, and once the oil starts to ripple, almost about to start to smoke, you're ready to go. First, add in your garlic and tofu and let this start to brown. Now add your shrimp, and once it starts to get a little bit of pink, crack an egg or two inside and quickly scramble it up for a few seconds. Now add about 1/8 of a cup of your sauce, a cup of noodles, some chives, a palmful of peanuts, and your bean sprouts. Toss everything together for about a minute, then serve with a side of lime and your favorite hot sauce. Of course, I'm using sriracha. That is how to make the classic dish pad thai. If you're making this for a whole group, you want to prep all the ingredients and you want to do small portions because cooking in a wok is all about high heat. So if you're cooking for 4 people, but you have a really thin, flimsy, cheapo wok that doesn't hold a lot of heat, cook 2 and then cook 2. Divide it in half because if you cook too much too quickly, your temperature is going to plummet and then you're not going to be kind of cooking things over high heat, which is what the wok is intended for. Tune in tomorrow for another What's This Food? Be sure to check out our sponsor, emmysorganics.com, and use the code WTF at the time of checkout. If you have something you want me to cover, you can post it in the comments below. And please visit us on iTunes and leave us a positive review and 5 stars. And you can also become a fan of the show on Facebook by going to danieldelaney.com/Facebook. I'll see you there.